Hi guys, welcome back to Colorado Living. I am Nicole Baker. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 suburbs that you need to be looking into if you want to live on the south side of Denver. If that's something that you want to know and you want to know the do's and the absolute don'ts, go ahead and keep on watching. But before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know I am a licensed broker here in this beautiful state and I love hearing from you guys. So my number's popping up on the screen below. Feel free to reach out to me if you guys have any questions, but let's go ahead and get started in today's video. Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about the first city, which is Aurora. I'm going to have a map be popping up on the screen now so you guys can kind of see exactly where that is. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the southeast corner of Aurora. So there's going to be a huge difference of what's going on in North Aurora versus Southeast Aurora, completely different home styles, completely different environment. So today, let's narrow down to Southeast Aurora. You can also see on the map that Aurora really covers up the whole eastern side of the state in all reality. So I want to make sure that we aren't covering too much space because it can definitely get confusing, especially when it comes to different home values and all of that. Getting into some home prices in Southeast Aurora and what you can kind of expect depending on what subdivision you're in. So one of my favorite areas is going to be Talons Reach. Talons Reach is a gorgeous neighborhood, and if you love pine trees, they're known for their pine trees. It's something that I love about it. They have fully grown, mature pine trees, unlike some of the newer areas in Southeast Aurora, which a lot of it is new. You're not going to see that. You're going to see more of those, younglings. I don't know if that's how you describe a tree, but you're gonna see younger trees in these people's front yards and stuff like that versus like those super mature, luscious trees that you can get in some other neighborhoods that may be a little bit older. Talons Reach, a little bit older than some of the other subdivisions that we're gonna be talking about, but definitely one of my favorites. And you can also see occasionally some deer running through, another must-have for me in any neighborhood that I live in. Going into another neighborhood, let's talk about Blackstone. Blackstone is an absolutely beautiful, luxurious subdivision in Southeast Aurora. You're probably looking closer to the 800 price point in this area, but they are some gorgeous homes. It's all surrounding a beautiful golf course that kind of goes through the entire property. It is absolutely to die for, but it definitely has a higher price point than Talons Reach. Another community that we can talk about is South Shore. South Shore is a pretty new area, but they have some gorgeous homes and they also have a reservoir that kind of backs that whole entire area. So depending on what lot you're in, whether that be a new home, which they have tons of, and also a resale home, you could potentially have that reservoir backing your property, which I mean, that's gorgeous and I would love that. That would be a dream come true to just wake up every day and see that out your master bedroom. But that is another really good option. And if you're looking again for new homes, that has tons of new builds in it, or even just newer homes. Either way, great. Whatever is gonna work with your guys' timeline probably is gonna be best for you, but we can talk about that whenever we do Zoom calls with all the clients. Typically, that's stuff that we go over in regards to what exactly you're looking for. Another neighborhood that's going to be on the lower end is going to be Copperleaf. That is a beautiful subdivision that has tons of rec centers that you can go to, some beautiful major high schools that are really great for students. You guys can kind of look more into that on your own time. I'll go ahead and link that school information in the description box so you guys can learn more about it and what's important to you in regards to schools. But that price point, I mean, you could probably be looking around anywhere between $650 to like $750, and obviously there's gonna be houses in there that are at higher price points, but just something to keep in mind. Let's talk about things to do in Aurora, specifically Southeast Aurora. There is a shopping mall called Southlands. Southlands kind of has anything and everything that you're gonna need. Has a couple shopping stores, H&M, Sephora, American Eagle, Victoria's Secret, those kind of shopping areas. You also are gonna have a couple different, dessert places. There's a really good cookie shop in there to die for. Get the s'mores cookie. I'm a huge s'mores fan, anything s'mores, and their s'mores cookies are to die for. So there's also going to be a frozen yogurt place, there's a movie theater, there's a hair cutters, you have some restaurants in there, a awesome steakhouse, you have Buffalo Wild Wings, some of those not super, they're not mom and pop by any means, it's very commercial franchise restaurants. So if you're not into that, that might not be a good option for you. But they also have a couple other places to go to. For me, convenience when it comes to food, I'm not a good cook and I don't like cooking, so I need to have tons of restaurants. This isn't necessarily a location where you have absolutely endless amounts of food options. So if food is really important to you, we're gonna be talking about another city towards the end of this video that might be a better option for you. But if you don't mind cooking at home and the house is most important for you, Southeast Aurora could definitely give you a good bang for your buck. To number 2, which is going to be Parker, and one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods in the entire Colorado area. And the reason for that is the deer. I just love wildlife and I love seeing them just, hopping around in the subdivisions. Where I come from, that's not normal. So just to walk outside a normal, typical track home and see a cute little deer, that's just to die for. I couldn't live anywhere else, I don't think. Yesterday I saw 2 baby fawns loving on their mama in the rain, and it was just so adorable, and it really just brightens my day. So I don't think I could live anywhere besides places with deer now. Let's go ahead and move into a neighborhood though. We're gonna talk about Canterbury Crossings and why I think it might be a good fit for you. Let's go into the median price point. So $689 is going to be your median price point. You can definitely get a little bit lower and you can definitely get a little bit higher. Something I like about this neighborhood is it's closer to all the amenities. Other than the next one that we're gonna talk about, it's not close at all, but there's things I like about that one too. So anyways, Canterbury Crossings. Something I really love about it is it's close to all the things that you need to do. Parker has tons of things to do, tons of restaurants, way more restaurants than Southeast Aurora, which is something that I really enjoy. You're closer to all the mom and pop restaurants that they have in the Old Town area, which is really cute. You also have the typical Texas Roadhouse, Applebee's, those kind of restaurants. If it's not something mom and pop isn't important to you, you have those options. You have tons of drive-throughs. Again, something really important to me is I hate cooking, so I want tons of restaurants. You have tons of easy access to restaurants, drive-throughs. You also have tons of cute little dessert places. One of my favorite bakeries is in there, and you guys can go ahead and check out that bakery and all the information on it in the link for my relocation guide. I definitely featured that cute little bakery in there. So you also have Crumble Cookies. I know that's not a bakery, but I love Crumble Cookies, so I like to be close to it, I guess. You also have, 3 or so Starbucks locations throughout Parker versus Aurora is a little bit skimpier on the Starbucks. And I only mention that because I know that you guys probably care about Starbucks if you're watching this, because you're watching me and I am crazy about Starbucks, so I have to be close to a Starbucks. And anyways, Parker has plenty of them, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and go on to the next neighborhood, the Pinery. The Pinery is something that I discovered, and I love this neighborhood. If I could sell my house and move there, I probably would, because it's one of my favorites. There are tons and tons and tons of deer. It's not a typical neighborhood where you have tons of tract homes or new homes. Most of them are the, ranch style home where it's a little bit older, and some of them have been completely remodeled in the inside. You also have the Pinery Country Club there. So right when you drive in, you have kind of like the golf course. There's also a little lake back there, which is gorgeous, but your average price point is gonna be a little bit higher than that Canterbury Crossings at around, we'll say $750, $800, some even going to over $1 million. It just depends, but if your price point is really important to you and the budget is a little bit lower, you can definitely find some options in there. Something to keep in mind with the Pinery though is it is a little bit further from all the amenities of Parker. It is a lot more south of Parker, so I'll go ahead and pop up a map again so you can kind of see where the Pinery is, and then I'll also go ahead and circle kind of where the main strip of all the restaurants is. So here at the Pinery, you're going to, depending on how far back in there you are, because it really does go pretty far back into the mountain area and like it's called the Pinery for a reason. There's tons of pine trees, but it definitely goes way deep in there. So if you're closer to the golf course and the main entrance, you're probably looking about maybe a 20-minute drive up to the freeway, maybe 15 minutes up to a majority of where the restaurants are and like where the Starbucks is. So if that's something that's kind of a deal breaker for you, I don't know that the Pinery is gonna work for you, but if you work from home and or you don't mind a long commute into, let's say, Denver or even to the restaurants, then the Pinery is an absolute gorgeous neighborhood for you, and I would love for you guys to get more information on that in my guide below or reaching out to me. But it is to die for. Let's go ahead and move on to the next city, which is going to be Castle Rock. Moving on to Castle Rock. Castle Rock actually got their name from a huge rock that's on top of a mountain that kind of looks like a castle. So just a fun fact for you guys about Castle Rock. Castle Rock is probably about, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on where in Castle Rock you are, from the E470, which is that toll road that kind of goes all the way around the bottom south bend of the state. So it's a little bit further out there, but there's amazing home prices out there, and it's super up and coming and building out really quickly with some of the top school districts in the state. So if that's something that's important to you guys, again, I have that link down below so you guys can go ahead and check out schools and if it makes sense for you and your family. So some of the neighborhoods that we're going to be talking about are the Meadows. The Meadows is an absolutely beautiful neighborhood, tons of homes for sale in that area right now, and your median price point is going to be $650. So I'm kind of, trying to keep a couple different options for you guys, but in regards to each subdivision itself, but there are definitely housing in there that is probably closer to $550, $500, depending on when you're watching this video, of course. So we'll go ahead and start with the Meadows, $650 for that one. A beautiful area in there is going to be Castle Oaks, starting at $725 for the median price point. And then another area is going to be downtown Castle Rock, and that's going to be starting at $692. Downtown Castle Rock is definitely for those people that just love the mom and pop feel, kind of like a little mini old town, I guess is what I like to say about it. You have tons of mom and pop, you still have, your normal stores, but it's a really good option for someone that enjoys Castle Rock but wants to have that like small town feel. It kind of has that environment about it. You definitely have the small, coffee shops and all that stuff that you can walk down, kind of like a strip of all the places that you would want to go. Also, if you're not into the old town mom and pop feel, there is so much being built out there, like tons of new shopping, new restaurants. You also have the Castle Rock Outlet Mall, and you have tons of things there. You have the Restoration Outlet there, which if you're into home decor, you know what I'm talking about, but they have that down there and tons of other stores. So if shopping is really something that you're interested in, you have plenty of options, but completely up to you guys. So hopefully today's video gave you tons of information on my top 3 picks, but there are definitely some amazing other cities in the southern portion of Denver. If that's something that you're interested in and you have a specific one, go ahead and drop it in the comments so I can go ahead and make a video for you guys. That way I can give you as much content as possible. But other than that, I don't want to keep you guys too long. Again, I am a licensed broker here in this beautiful state. My number is popping up on the screen. Please reach out. I love hearing from you guys. But until next time, see you later. Bye.